everyone, welcome to my channel Rays of Sunshine. Today I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit different. It's about an experience that I had while I was in New York. My Uber driver tried to kidnap me. So yeah, getting right into that story. Yesterday I was in New York for New York Fashion Week, just modeling and taking care of other business, and it was my last day there, and I was leaving Manhattan to go back to the Bronx. And while in the Bronx, my Uber driver picked me up. You know, when I got in the car, he asked me what my name was, and we confirmed my destination. It's my first time in New York, so I'm just like making conversation. I could tell that he wasn't from the U.S. by his accent, so I was just like asking him where he's from, just small talk, things like that. I'm not one of those people that just like sits in the Uber and is just like super quiet, so this was normal to me. Up until then, my experiences with Uber in New York were completely fine, just like a normal Uber where I'm from. And we were talking, and I was saying that like I wish I could get some coffee, and he's like, oh yeah, like I know like a small coffee shop, it's literally within walking distance. I'm like, okay, well if it's within walking distance, that's okay. Speaking of walking distance from my destination. And then he like started to like take me over a bridge, and by this point this bridge was like at least 5 minutes away from my walking destination. So going over the bridge, I'm just like, hold up, pause, red flag, this is not okay. So then I'm like, this doesn't seem like it's in walking distance, can we like go back to my destination? And he's like, oh, okay. And then as soon as he crosses the bridge, he still continues to proceed like into whatever part of the city is over the bridge, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So then I eventually we turn around, and I ask him about like how long it'll take to get to my destination, and he says 15 minutes. Mind you, my ride initially was supposed to be like 15-20 minutes already, so it's like 15-20 minutes extra onto my 15-20 minutes that's already gone on. So I'm just like a little bit annoyed at this point, but you know, I'm trying to be nice, like, okay, maybe he just like took a wrong turn, didn't, like, I don't know. So then we're going back towards my destination, and there's like a Dunkin' Donuts like on the way. At this point I'm kind of already like on high alert, kind of creeped out, and I see this Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, okay, cool, it's a coffee shop, we can like stop right here, you can let me out here. And so it's like a coffee shop on the corner of the street, and then there are like two buildings behind the coffee shop going like this way. And he like pulls in the Dunkin' Donuts, the coffee shop, and then he like pulls all around the parking lot. He's just driving around the parking lot, and then he drives behind both buildings. So I'm just like, okay, this is weird, like I need to get out. And I'm just like, okay, it's fine, like I can get out here, like it's fine, like I got it. And he continues to insist, like, no, I can take you to your destination. And I'm like, no, it's fine, I've got it. And he's like, no, I can take you. And I'm like, no, I've got it. So at this point I'm just like, oh my goodness, my Uber driver's trying to kidnap me. Like he like won't let me leave, like he's still like driving the car. So I'm just like, okay, like just I need you to end the trip so I can get out. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because my last Uber driver, he like continued the trip after I already got out, and I was just like so annoyed. But I mean, I didn't do anything about that situation, but this situation I was like, you need to end my trip right now so I can get out. So after like arguing with him for 5 minutes or so, he finally ends the trip. And like as I'm opening the door to like try and get out, the car is still moving, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I gotta either jump out or I'm staying in here. So I'm like, I'm jumping out. So then I like scurry, hop, skip, and a jump out of the car, and I'm just like, what is going on right now? Like, if you know me as a person, then you know that I'm not someone that's like super emotional. I just take things as they go. So I just tried to brush this off, and like it literally just could not get off my mind. I'm like, this could have been like my life if he were to speed up. I really thought back on it and was just so afraid. So like I tried to take a nap and just like sleep it off, and like I said, I just couldn't, it wouldn't get off of my mind. So I reported it to Uber. When I first reported it to Uber, the reason was like driver drove like a unnecessary path or something like that. And I like kind of hinted at what happened, because I was like, yeah, it was a big deal, I just like want them to give my money back for the trip because it was just unnecessary. But after I like slept on it, I was just like, this just happened to me. And then on top of that, while in the car, the driver was being kind of like weird, like staring at me, and like I don't really pick up on flirting that well, but like I feel like some of the things he said could have been considered flirting. So I don't know, just looking back at it, I was just like, yeah, that was kind of weird too, other than, you know, the actual driving out of the way and trying to physically take me elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, after I made the second complaint and like hinted at like the possible sexual harassment, then Uber was very quick to, you know, follow up with me and refund me for my ride. The person I spoke with, she was very nice. So I will say that Uber did a good job once they actually got to the problem. But I don't know. It definitely made my first weekend in New York have a little bit of a bad ending, because that entire day I just wanted to like stay in the house and just not really do anything in New York, especially since where I was staying I had to take an Uber at some point anyway, so I was just like kind of on edge about that. I'm happy that I did act on some of the warning signs, and part of the reason that I did make the second report was because I'm so like, it made me so nervous for what could happen to other girls who didn't know warning signs or weren't aware of like red flags or were a little bit more passive than I were. Like, that just made me really nervous. So I mean, all in all, I think it was a really weird experience, and I was really not sure if I wanted to post about it, but I thought that it was important so other young girls or other young models or any women that are going to New York for the first time, shoot, anyone, this could happen to anyone, but just beware, you know, like of course it could happen in anywhere, but this was my experience when I was in New York City. But yeah, like I talked about this a little bit on my Twitter, so thank you to those who like reached out to me and were like making sure that I was okay. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video could help you out. This was my first story time, and I'm sad that it had to be on these circumstances, but I'm glad I could talk to you guys about this. So thank you so much. Comment, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week.